guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and welcome to another episode of The Grind. This is The Grind number 43, and I haven't done one in quite a while, and the reason I'm doing this one is probably kind of silly. All my SD cards are full, and all my hard drives got a bunch of stuff on them, and my phone was full, and all my cameras were filled up, and I just wanted to clean everything up. So that's why we're doing this Grind number 43. And that's okay. You know, I've got some work stuff to show you, and I've got some. We'll talk a little bit about Summer Bash, not a lot, but I did want to highlight a couple of the sponsors for Summer Bash. I've got three that I'm going to mention today, all with online discount codes, and that helps all the viewers and everything to feel connected. So I try to get these discount codes out of the sponsors so everyone can, take advantage of it and feel a little more connected to the bash. First of all is American Rotary. They've given us a discount code on checkout. It's BARZ17. So that's a pretty easy one to remember, and we thank American Rotary for that discount code. Next up is Big Gator Tools, which makes some very nice drilling and tapping blocks, among other things. They've got some new products. Go check them out. Discount code for over there is Summer Bash 17. The next up is Empire Abrasives. I know a lot of you guys have probably bought from them before. Good pricing on grinding discs, grinding wheels, sanding belts, little roll-lock discs, all kinds of abrasives. Go check out Empire Abrasives. Discount code over there is BARZ2017. Links for all three of those below. In addition to that, there is a big giveaway, and it's by one of these three guys, and it's American Rotary. They're giving away a 20 horsepower AI series outdoor rated rotary phase converter. Big, nice unit. Link below. Enter to win. All you do is plug in an email address, and they're not going to spam the heck out of you. I think you do need to subscribe to their newsletter. So no big deal. You get one email every month on their newsletter because of it. But always good stuff going on at American Rotary. And good luck on your entry to win the 20 horsepower AI series rotary phase converter. The winner will be announced at the Summer Bash. All right, so that's it for Summer Bash. Let's pull the curtain and start in with the grind, number 43. We're going to call this one the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's get into the good. We're going to go around a job site that we've been on for quite some time. A lot of you guys are going to say, just, hey, Stan, where the heck you been? Let's go take a look around a job site, and we're just wrapping up. Okay, so that was some pretty substantial units. There's over 1,400 light fixtures on that job site. Let's take a look at some of the panel work. We've got some undergrounds, feeders that are in there. And here's another shot of that cabinet, after some wire pulls before everything gets terminated. Okay, so those poles are pretty substantial. There's a lot of wires to terminate there, and we got it finished up. So that's one of the bigger panels. That's one of the floor-mounted units. Some of the other ones are up on stands. And as usual, we had a bunch of racking. Let's go take a peek at the racking down one of the larger units. And that unit was over 200 feet long, so it had 6 lighting zones and multiple motors and a lot of places to go. So that racking system was pretty substantial on that one. Next up, let's talk about something that just makes my job a little bit easier. And we use housekeeping totes to put in to tote our parts around. And what's nice about them is they fit on the handrails of scissor lifts, and it's nice to just be able to tote stuff around. Let's take a peek at those. And now let's take a walk outside, and we're going to go look at a big dust collector we had out back. And it was 200 horsepower dust collectors, and we were landing some 2-inch rigid pipe to them, a couple of disconnects, and a little bit of flex to these 100 horse motors up on the lid of this thing. This was outside, and we had to work in between the rains. We were getting pounded by rain up there, but let's go have a peek at that. So that's a pretty substantial unit too. A couple of big 200 amp rated disconnects got put in there, and the pipe work going to them, and the flex work out to the motors and things like that. So that's it there. Let's talk about the bad. That was the good. That was everything that went good on the job. Let's talk about the bad. The bad was broken tools, lost tools. You know, there's a couple times I'd walk out back and there's somebody putting my ladders on top of someone else's truck and say, what the heck is that all about? And, you know, some apprentice would say, well, my boss told me to put the ladders on the truck. Well, you know what? Those are my ladders, and they clearly say Bar Z on the side. So the casualties for that job wasn't too bad. I lost a couple of carpet dollies. I think I lost 2 ladders. Had a drill or 2 walk off. So for 8 months on the job, that wasn't terrible. I did have a couple of dead soldiers, and my guys have such creative ways of telling me that they need stuff. This one's NFG right there. So this one, I don't know what's wrong with it. It was just in the toolbox with an NFG on it, but that's a Milwaukee brushed version, dead. But for 8 months, if I only kill 2 tools, that's not that bad. This one says something Wong, smells funny. So that tells me either a brush card's going out or the cooling fan's going out in this one. So that's an impact that died. The other one's a drill that died. I did have something that happened on that job that was kind of interesting. It's the first time I've ever seen it. Let's go take a look at what a M18 battery does. Okay, well that was pretty unique. I'd never seen that before. I had just finished drilling over 20 1 1/8 holes with a fuel, and obviously I overheated the battery. It was warm to the touch, and I did detect a temperature elevation, but it drained that battery so fast that it drilling all those holes. So I was just one right after the other on that one. That I did get that error message or error code out of the lights on it. So that was pretty interesting. That was a pretty big battery. I think it was a 5 amp hour Milwaukee battery, but I overheated that sucker and it came back. You know, I let it cool down, recharged it, still being used. It's fine. It's got a self-protect mode. So that was the bad from that job. Not a whole lot bad, but some bad. Let's talk about the ugly. We were up on top of the roof of one of the units, and I did not get any video of this, but this was just, gosh, like a 1 day or 2 days before we were ready to take off from the job, and they were charging the compressed air lines in the building for the first time. Now this uses the Parker Transair powder coated aluminum nice piping. Well, we heard an air leak develop. It got worse, and then it blew. A fitting just blew off, and what I'm about to show you launched about 40 feet horizontally before it fell about 32 feet to the floor. Let's go take a look at the aftermath. So, holy moly, that was exciting. You know, it literally ripped out all the all thread, all the unistrut, all the hangers, and it just launched horizontally like a model rocket as it was discharging its air, and it was just deafening. And the people underneath just scattered like cockroaches, and no one was hurt. But you guys be careful out there with your airlines and do a test. That was the reason for this test. They were doing a static test on the system, and it blew. That was 1 day. Let's go take a look at the next day, and oddly enough, I have video of this. right, so that wasn't great either. That was a static test. I think they pumped up the fire sprinkler system up to 125% of the rated pressure, and it blew a head. These fire sprinkler heads use those little glass vials, and sometimes when you put pressure to them, they just go. And it happened to go right over a unit we were working on. Thank God we weren't standing under it. Let's go take a look at the aftermath of that. So brown, rusty, stinky, stagnant water, you know, that's wouldn't be good to get soaked in, but that didn't do the top of our units any good. So that was there's a lot of cleanup involved there, and that was just from static tests on the fire sprinkler system in the building. So we were 2 for 2. So things are looking ugly on that job, and I'm very thankful I'm getting out of there. So we've packed all our stuff. Next day, we're finally out on the road, and you know, just rolling along, happy as a clam. And then this happens to the trailer. Okay, so not the end of the world. Everyone shreds a tire on a trailer every once in a while. We get that switched out pretty quick. We had a floor jack on board and an M18 half-inch impact, and we just whipped that spare on. Had a spare. There was air in the spare. So we're back on the road really quick. And it wasn't even 50 miles later. Truck started drifting. Anti-lock brake light came on the dash, and got it over to the side, and there was smoke pouring out of the front wheel. We had roasted a front wheel bearing. Now, so we ended up looking more like this. Well, my Dodge smoked a front wheel bearing, and that was the 2007 uses what they call a component wheel bearing. I believe it's just a single bearing cartridge. It might be double row within that cartridge, but it's still a very narrow bearing. And you've got all this load on there, and then let's throw a Cummins turbo diesel in there on top of that and add an extra 1,500 pounds to the front end of the truck, and the wheel bearings will be fine. Well, I managed to smoke that on the way home. The anti-lock brake light came on. That was my first clue. Started wandering a little bit on the freeway, and finally pulled over, and the front wheel is there's smoke pouring out of it. And the front wheel bearing is just powder, so that thing is goner. As a result, I do have a fix, and this might be something for an upcoming video. But let's take a look at what showed up 3 days later after I finally got towed home. Okay, so that kit came in pretty quick. It was only 3 days out. I got it from Summit Racing. Again, it's made by Yukon. No affiliation to Yukon or Summit, either one. I'm just a satisfied customer. But I'm looking forward to getting that on the truck. Next up, and this is a long time coming, I got a message from Ryan Shanks over on Facebook, and he runs a company called Logic Industries. And he wanted to send me something, and he said, I've got a tap guide that's for use with the bigger taps where you need a little more spring pressure and it's a larger unit. And he said he wanted to send me one, so he did, and I've got it here. This was sent to me long ago. I didn't have a whole lot of time to do stuff to show it, and Ryan, I apologize for that. But this is quite a large tap guide. It's got a nice heavy spring in it. I think he's got a die spring in there. But if you've got a larger tap, so I got one here. Here's one. Here's a decent size one. If you've got a larger tap, you can use this thing with that heavy spring pressure guided in. A lot of times you have trouble getting the first couple of threads started because they want to tip and you know, get off center. I wish the tap manufacturers would give us bigger holes, but he's done all he can do with the heavy spring pressure to try to keep that sucker centered up. So pretty nice tap guide. And if you guys want to get your hands on one, he sent me one of these scanner goodies, and I don't know if it'll work on the screen. It might. I'll hold that kind of still. And maybe you can scan that right off the screen, pause it, and then scan that. If in fact that does not work, link below, and go check out his website and see what else he has to offer. And thank you for sending that in. Sure appreciate it. And last up, I'd like to remind everybody that Summer Bash does have a web page of its own. And if you want to stay up to date on new developments, new sponsors, discount codes, things like that, go over to Facebook and look around for Summer Bash 2017. But I do post over there quite often, and to keep everyone up to speed on what's going on with Summer Bash. The t-shirt campaign is up and running right now, and there's an issue with the black shirts. We're missing some of the sizes. I've called Teespring and inquired about it, and they are out of stock and back ordered on several different sizes of the black. We'll try to make it right on the next campaign and get some black shirts that can be ordered. But right now you can't get small, medium, large, or extra large in black. If you pick another color, those do become available. But the black shirts, I guess there's quite a run on them. So there is an issue with the shirts. All right, and there's still spots available for Summer Bash. Shoot an email over to summerbash@barziindustrial.com, and I'll get you details on how to attend. All right, guys, that's it for the grind, number 43. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.